In this video, I am going to be discussing the visual influence that alchemy has had on the Drakengard and NieR games, specifically the concept of the magnum opus. The dream of many alchemists was to create gold, and it was believed that this could be achieved through something called a philosopher's stone, a substance that could be used to transmute common metals into gold. Over time, as the idea of the stone grew in fame, there would be claims that it could grant immortality, cure any disease, that it would bestow enlightenment, or even allow the holder to see and speak with angels. Alchemists came up with many different theories as to how this philosopher's stone could be created, and the pursuit of this goal came to be known as the magnum opus, or the great work. While there were many different theories as to how the stone could be created, it was generally agreed upon that the substance which was to become the stone would change color 4 times during the process. The substance is first placed into an alchemical flask, this substance being some combination of material that included sophic sulfur and mercury. As the process begins, it will first become black, then white, then yellow, and finally red. After which what is left in the flask will be the philosopher's stone. These 4 colors are sometimes shortened to 3, with the yellowing stage being compressed into the reddening. While many other theories argue for a different number of color phases, this 4 or 3 color version has become the most well-known and frequently depicted in art, and tends to crop up in stories that involve magic or the occult. Alchemical artwork tends to represent steps in experiments through the use of abstract symbols. Sulfur and mercury are represented by the Red King and White Queen, who appear with the sun and the moon. The completion of the great work is represented by a 2-headed divine hermaphrodite called the Rebis, a symbol of fusion born from the marriage of the king and queen. In Drakengard, the magnum opus seems to have influenced the design of the 3-eyed Gemini. The image depicts a bishop with 2 faces, similar to the Rebis. This bishop could also be considered a hermaphrodite, as its origin is that of a combination between brother and sister one. The bishop is holding in their arms an egg of rebirth, with a golden dragon emerging from the egg, its tail taking the shape of an infinity symbol. Alchemical flasks are also known by the name hermetic eggs, and it's possible that the idea of the eggs of rebirth was partially inspired by this. The eggs containing a mercury-like substance that transforms whatever is placed inside into a new type of being. The creature that appears from inside the Mercurius Gate in the 3rd game's prequel manga might have also been inspired by this idea. In Drakengard 2, the magnum opus is possibly represented through the creation of Noe, having been born from an egg of rebirth as a combination of Legna, Furiae, and Inuart, the 3 of them representing black, white, and red. It is only through Mana's power in Root C that he achieves his true form, so perhaps she represents yellow. While the yellowing appears less often in the series, the repeating pattern of red, white, and black is a constant presence. The 3 main dragons, the 3 grimoires, the 3 pod units, even the 3 dwarves from Dark Apocalypse. And speaking of Dark Apocalypse, the final fight against N2 may also be taking inspiration from the great work. N2 enters into an egg of rebirth and emerges as something called the Forged God. However, her transformation seems incomplete as she roars in rage after being unable to free her lower half from the egg. This design again presents the black, white, and red pattern, and as the fight goes on, she is engulfed in a golden light, giving us all 4 colors. When the light fades, she has evolved into a new form called the Flowered God. In this form, she has become a 2-headed being, a Rebis. Sinnoh Alice also seems to make references to alchemy through the designs of the sigils that appear in the game, and the Paranoia doll monster from the movie again shows similarities to the Rebis. NieR Reincarnation might also be drawing from alchemy in its use of the broken sun and moon, with the eclipse that lets the admin and angels invade the cage, potentially representing the marriage between the Red King and White Queen. The admin absorbing N2 also follows this. The white and red are joined in marriage, and all 4 colors of the great work are shown as the admin evolves into a godlike being. These allusions to the rebus I've discussed always seem to appear with things that are connected to God in some way, and I expect that in future titles we will be seeing it again.